car wash time. 10 of 10 at night. Just got out of work. This car desperately needed a wash. I had some stuff I wanted to say earlier and I can't remember what it was. Probably because I'm tired. But look, this is this cool rainbow car wash I'm in. $3 off a $19 wash. This car was filthy. It's got some stuff on it. Hey D, how you doing? Hold on. Oops. I don't know. So we're inside the car wash, guys. Isn't this fun? Yay, what a waste of a video. Most people don't watch my videos anymore anyway, so might as well do one of a car wash, right? How you doing, D? How is everything? Hopefully everything's well. I can't complain, I guess, right now. I mean, I could, but what's the point? So anyway, I got my books. I ordered these books. You know those things? I don't know if you see them advertised online. Those, you know, what to do if there's an apocalypse or whatever. So how you can live off the land and all that and make herbs and all that stuff. I forgot what it was called. Well, anyway, I got 2 different books on naturopathic stuff. So, like, you could eat, like, wild weeds and all that stuff just in case there's a food shortage or whatever. And they came like 2 weeks late. But I finally got them today. So thank God for that. I decided to buy those books so I can learn how to have natural remedies and stuff if there's ever a problem. And basically live off the land if we had to eat stuff, you know. So I'm trying to kind of prep in some ways that I can. We have, just in case you guys don't know, we have a couple more pandemics beginning. Monkeypox, which I think the CDC said came from gay men actually having sex. Somebody spread it and is spreading that way. And also, there is, the kids are getting this new, oh my gosh, what is it? It's spreading now. Hepatitis. So this is just the beginning of the plagues and pandemics and pestilences. So just so you guys know, not to be the bearer of bad news, but God meant what he said. And I posted videos on this from that seer weeks ago about these new pandemics and stuff that are going to be coming where people's skins are going to have boils on them. Well, guess what? That's what monkeypox does. So again, my page might be worth looking at for, you know, to keep up with what's going on. I cannot guarantee that these seers are all real prophets or not, but so far they've been right about everything. So, be ready. They're saying don't touch your eyes or anything if you're in public, and make sure you wear masks and this and that. And they're also saying not to travel too much and all that other stuff. So we have that coming down the pike now. So like I said, also the food shortages. We are having major food shortages. There's going to be a huge famine coming. And it's already begun and people aren't realizing. So if you do have the means to stock up, I don't. But if you do, then stock up on supplies because shelves are going bare and they're going to continue. Also, gas prices are like almost $5 a gallon now. And they're supposed to go up to over $6 soon. We also have a super heat wave. Sorry, I'm supposed to be pulling forward. I'm not paying attention. Super heat wave coming this weekend. And so that ought to be fun. Don and I don't have air conditioning. It's going to be in the high 90s or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in store. Also, if you've noticed the wind, there's been a lot of strange, like, there was a video from this prophet that I put on over a month or so ago about, they said that God said that he was going to be releasing the 4 winds as part of his judgments on the land. So basically the weather was going to be completely out of control and all that, which it has been, right? Well, I've been noticing just strange, like the wind has not been acting normal lately. It's been really, really, really windy, out of season, like nonstop for days, sustained winds. Well, I just saw that in Germany and other places around the world, they've been getting strange wind phenomena where the wind is very strong, like, and it's causing a lot of damage. We're getting a lot of more tornadoes. So the weather is going to be out of control. It's going to be a lot of severe weather. We've already been experiencing this, but it's going to be out of control from now on. So we're going to be having it all starting this year. Plagues, famines, food shortages, wars going to continue going on with Russia. It's going to continue to spread. I mean, I wish I had something nice to say. I really do, but listen, that's not my gift. My gift is not to just preach the love of Jesus like every other preacher does, because yes, of course, he's love and mercy. But what people also need to understand is where we are in the end times, and, you know, to bury your head in the sand and pretend that we're not in the end times, you're foolish. So look at what's going on. Now, these end times can last 7 years, another decade, or whatever. I don't know, but God could speed it up. So it doesn't hurt to be ready for whatever's coming down the pike, and there's a lot of stuff coming. So far, everything I've said over the years is happening or has happened, and I'm getting my information from other real prophets. So, and I also know, I'm picking up on the signs. I get it from the Lord. I know what the Bible says, so I know what to expect. So again, some people are getting tired of hearing my gloom and doom and being negative all the time. I am not trying to be a fearmonger or whatever. I'm not even trying to be a prophet. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing and what's really going on. So, we have a lot of stuff going on now, and this is our new life, like, on Earth. You know, we have to get used to this. This is it. It's not going to be pleasant. Earthquakes are continuing every day, all over the place, and now we've been getting more and more and more earthquakes in America, in the United States. More and more. We're not talking about California. We're talking about East Coast, Midwest, everywhere. And that's going to continue to happen until the entire earth is shaking. So that's also biblical. So I wish people would pay attention to the headlines, and instead of watching mainstream media and all that nonsense and wasting time on TV shows and nonsense, why don't you pay attention to what's really going on? And, look for these things, like YouTube, and even Facebook is not even hiding what's going on. I post a lot of Facebook news. They're the ones that are telling me about the earthquakes and stuff now, which I'm surprised they're actually talking about this stuff now, even on Facebook, so freely. So it's getting to the point where, and asteroids, every week now there's a huge, city-size asteroid that's been coming by, near approach, and so they're getting us ready for the inevitable. It's coming. It's all going to end up going down, not just one or two things. It's all going to go down. That's why it's called the tribulation. Some people say we're not in the tribulation yet. I think we are, or we're at the very gates of it, the beginning of it. So the tribulation is when things are so bad that you're not going to be able to deny that we're in serious trouble here, that we're in the tribulation, because you're going to have everything coming at you all at one time, from war to asteroid impacts to famines and plagues and pestilences and, comets, and everything's going to be happening all simultaneously, to the point where it's like, like Jesus said, in the end times it'll be like a woman in labor, where the contractions come more and more frequently, and they last longer, and they grow in intensity, right? Well, that's what's happening during this time. If you haven't noticed, we are in the tribulation. We're entering the tribulation where things start. It's dark, guys. I'm just getting home from work. I got to get in the house. We're getting to the point where the birth pains and the tribulation, all that stuff, is happening. The earthquakes, all these things, more and more frequent, and frequency and intensity, to the point where it's going to be on the news every day. Another asteroid strike, another volcanic eruption, another earthquake, another, civil unrest, another, pandemic, another whatever. And that's what it's going to be. That's God's wrath. So, this is all biblical. If you don't want to hear about it, then you don't want to hear about it. But I'm telling you, whether you like it or not, and this is what I find funny about people who don't want to listen to this stuff, you are going to experience it. Whether you like it or not, you're not going to avoid it. All mankind, no matter where you are on this earth, is going to be affected by it, and is going to go through it. whether you like it or not. You're not going to escape. So stop burying your head in the sand. Stop saying, oh, I don't want to hear this, or it's negative, or I don't believe it, or whatever. You will. You will certainly believe it, because it's here and it's happening. So, and that mark of the beast, it is very ready. They are ready more than ever now, the chip implant to put in you at any time. And they're going to say it's a matter of national security and safety from these plagues and pandemics and all this stuff. And so you are going to be summoned eventually, especially if you're an anti-vaxxer, to receive the seal, the mark, or in your hand. So, hey, don't believe me? Fine, you'll see it very soon. And I'm not saying these things out of happiness and pride. I'm not happy about this. I'm just telling you. I'm not trying to be a smart aleck. I'm just saying. I don't like when people argue with me about this because I know what's happening. I see it happening, and I've been warning you about it, and the Bible warns about it. And I'm just doing my job for the Lord. The Lord wanted me to preach Jesus and to tell people where we're at, and that's what I do. If you don't believe that, then you don't believe I have a relationship with Him and that I have a mission, then that's your issue, not mine. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And I will continue doing what I know I feel drawn to do and good about doing. And again, it's not to scare people. It's to get you ready. You're not supposed to be afraid. You're just supposed to be aware of what's coming so that you can prepare your heart, your mind, your relationship with God, everything you can. Stock up on supplies. You know, you could always use them anyway. But if it's not common sense already that these things are coming to pass and they're happening every day now and they're happening faster and faster, it's here, guys. It's here. And if this isn't the actual tribulation, well, I don't want to see that. But it's happening, guys. It's on. So I make these videos and I give proof that I'm not just talking, but that this stuff is actually real. It's happening. If you want proof, look at my Facebook page. Every day, I'm coming across more and more news articles, more and more videos, more and more prophecies that are showing what's happening, and even saying what's going to happen like weeks, months before it actually happens, and then it happens like clockwork. So it's accurate, and I don't care where the information's coming from at this point. It's accurate. So I'm trying to. It's actually keeping me ahead of everybody. And I just, what worries me is that a lot of fellow Catholics and Christians are not seeing what I'm seeing, are not getting the same news right away. They're not seeing it or believing it until it's happening. And then they say, oh yeah, well, guys, I'm not trying to get credit here, but I have been saying these things way before they happen. So why does nobody listen to me? Is it because you don't want to, or because you really have trouble believing, or you don't want to believe, or you think I'm false prophet? I don't know what your issue is, but I do have a following here who have been realizing that I'm not making this stuff up. So I hope it helps whoever it helps. I'm sorry that lately I've been too busy to be making more prayer and Bible reading videos. I got to get back into that. I got to admit my prayer life has been suffering terribly because I have just been so bogged down with the cares of this world and problems and it's just trying to survive lately that I haven't been able to do that. And I really need to do that. That's not a joke. I used to pray hours a day, all throughout the day. And my prayer life is pretty much non-existent almost now, besides, just a few prayers here and there, saying grace, going to church. But again, I've never been able to recover my prayer life or my zeal since that debacle in seminary. Seminary destroyed my prayer life. It could have killed my faith, but it wasn't going to do. But it caused a lot of problems. It really set me back. So that's it. So please pay attention to my page, what I post on my Facebook page, while I still can, because eventually one day they're going to shut us down. The other thing that you can expect, and it's already beginning, and I'm not trying to, these are prophecies from other people, and, excuse me, they're actual news headlines, more than prophecy. Churches are being ransacked, especially ever since they said that they were going to try to overturn Roe versus Wade. which should never have been passed in the first place. They are attacking the Catholic Church. They're burning them down. They're destroying altars. These people, this radical left, this liberal left, this wicked satanic culture is just looking for an excuse to attack and persecute Christians and to stop us and to destroy, to remove Jesus from society, because they do not like the truth. They do not like what he has to say. They don't like his ways. They are godless. They're an antichrist culture. Woe be to them. And so it just stinks, because Jesus said, woe be to you who call good evil and evil good. Well, we Christians are what's good in this world. We stick by the truth. We're not perfect, but we stand for Christ, who is, and his law. And when you try to abolish Jesus and his people, there's no light down here. There's nothing but evil and lawlessness and wickedness. So they're saying that we're bad now when we're really good, and everything that they do that's diabolic and sinful is good. So anything goes. You can murder your children. You can wait till the baby's born and hack its head off right then and there now. That's legal. You can marry a goat. You can, marry men. You can, men and men, women, anything goes now. Drag queens coming into kindergarten classes and preschool dressed up as demons with rainbow hair, telling them about sodomy. These poor kids shouldn't even need to know about that stuff. And honestly, listen, really, do you really think people need to have sex education? It's common sense. Animals don't need to go to class to learn how to procreate. So people don't either. And there's no reason to teach it in school at all. And not only were they teaching when I went to school sex education in 6th and 8th grade, but they were making us go through tutorials and making us put condoms on bananas in class and talking about how to safely have anal sex and all this stuff. I learned that in school. And you didn't need to teach me that. I already knew from TV. I was already watching that stuff in 4th grade. So, it's already out there in the culture, but they're putting it in kids' heads. Satan is making human beings as repulsive to God at such a young age. He's trying to steal their innocence and their purity. Purity is you need purity to go to heaven. A pure mind and a pure heart. So what does the devil do? He gets them as young as he can. He defiles them as young as he can. If he can't rape a kid, he'll at least put pornographic stuff in his head, in his heart. He'll turn him into a sodomite. He'll whatever he can as young as possible, so that children are going to hell now. The age of reason went from 8 down to 4 now, or even younger, because of the mass what they're trying to rush people to grow up. It's sick. It's disgusting. This world has to end. Honestly, from a Christian standpoint, it has gotten so bad that the only thing that's good is that God created a beautiful world if you take humans out of it, it's beautiful. And, Christianity is the only thing that's left in this world that's beautiful, that's worth saving. Now, if you were a Muslim or an atheist or whatever, witch or whatever, you would disagree with me. But from God's standpoint, from a Christian standpoint, from a biblical standpoint, the only thing worth saving down here are believers in Christ, are God-loving and fearing people, are Christians and the world. Other than that, everything else that goes against God, well, we already know what God's plan is. You're either with him or you're against him. And if you're against him, you're going to hell. That's not he's the judge. And that's what he says. And he doesn't like to do that. People have to understand, he's not a tyrant. It's just the way things are. And he gives you plenty of chances in your life to turn to him. He even comes to you 3 times while you're dying to try to get you to choose him before you enter into hell. And people still reject him on their deathbeds. So, what do you want God to do? He even gave his son. He came down in human flesh, died on a cross, suffered terribly. There's nothing more. God did way more for us so we could be saved than we would ever do even for our own family members. So, there's nothing more that he can or should do. He didn't even have to do that. He could have destroyed this planet and started over. We could all be in hell. So, I almost wish he did sometimes, because then I wouldn't have been born and I wouldn't have had to deal with all this, and maybe I would have had a chance to be born in a new world, the new one he made, if he had destroyed Adam and Eve the first time and got rid of the, But in his infinite wisdom, who am I to judge? It is what it is. So I'm here, not by choice. Neither are you. The only choice we have is, okay, we're here, and once we're here, we are eternal. You are a soul, and a soul is like God. It is eternal. It is energy. It is forever. You will never die. So, and I'm telling you because I left my body, and I know what it's like on the other side, and I'm telling you I didn't even know I was dead. I keep repeating that, but unless it happens to you, then you know that you know, and I know that I know. I could take a lie detector test, you could put a gun to my head, I don't care. And I'm telling you, you're more alive once you're outside of this body than you ever were in this body. This body is like a wet blanket. It's misery, honestly. It really is. Even on your best day, it's misery compared to the freedom of being out of this body. But once you're out of the body, the judgment begins. So if you end up in hell, you're going to be very sorry. And if you're in heaven, you're going to be very happy. So let's not rush it, because you need to go through what you got to go through down here in order to prove where you're going. But the point is, you got all eternity, and you're not going to ever die. So you better get used to living. There's so many people who are suicidal. Oh, I just want to end my life. The sooner you end your human life, the sooner you're starting your eternal life. You're never going to die. You can't just not exist. So get over yourself and just deal. Because you and I are here to stay forever. You exist, you're watching this video right now, you're living and breathing, you are here forever. You were created by God in His image and likeness, and that means that just like God, you will be here forever. So you better get used to it, and that is why I keep making these videos, to stress to people the seriousness of how important it is to decide where you're spending your eternity. Because you will be here for eternity. So, maybe not on this planet, in this flesh, but soon as you die, you are in eternity in another dimension. And then you're going to get this flesh back. But it'll be an eternal flesh, a glorified body. And it will never die. So you die once, and then the judgment, and then you never die again. But you never truly, truly die. You'll either live happily ever after in eternity with God, or you'll go through what's called the second death, which is the act of dying. Like, for example, you're dying in hellfire, right? So you're burning alive in fire. But you never actually die. You just keep burning like a candle wick. So you're always stuck in the state of dying, the state of death, the pains of death, but it never ends. So you're in a second death, but you're never going to it never ends. You're just always dying completely for eternity. That's horrible. It's horrible. And that would have to be the opposite of eternity.